When people see or they hear you, what impressions do they form? Is that actually what you have in mind? When it comes to creating great content, have I got some awesome guests for you today. We have two of my very favorite YouTubers, Andrew and Pete. Hello, Andrew and Pete.
Whoop, whoop.
Now, what folks should know about you, of course, is that you are content marketers, that you are also the authors of Hippocampus, which I am loving right now. You are also people who help folks, I suppose, to make their brands stand out.
Yes.
Yes, that is right.
So we've got two books. We've got the Hippocampus, which is all about making your brand stand out, and we've got Content Mavericks, which is all about making your content stand out too. Kind of ripping up the rule book when it comes to online presence, when it comes to content, when it comes to like doing things the way they've always been done. We're questioners and we say, why do we have to do it like that? Can we not do it another way, this way instead? Exactly. It's going to be a lot more fun.
Today, we're going to talk about super villains, what can get in the way and mess you up, dirting your bib and wrecking your stride. So, top of your list of arch enemies.
Yes. All right, guys. So we've got three super villains that we are going to destroy. So you will have no longer boring, samey, unoriginal content. Villain number one is Mr. Low Value.
Oh,
yes.
So if you are just putting low value content, if when you're speaking, you're producing low value content, you are not going to be remembered. You're not going to be better than everyone else. And you're not going to be booked again. You know, nobody's going to come back and read your content.
Yes. Now, when we're talking about low value content, though, you're probably thinking, God, guys, we've heard that before. Marketers have been spouting for years. We need to create high value content. We need to give before we get. We need to build our audience. We really want to push you and challenge you to actually ask yourself, is the content you are creating as good as it could be? So we kind of learned this the hard way. We once got the opportunity to write for Social Media Examiner, which is a big industry leading blog in our space, right? This was a good few years ago, and we were absolutely over the moon. We were like, woo-hoo! And do you know how much effort we put into that blog? A lot of effort. We put days, weeks. If not like weeks, if not months, if not years, into creating like the best blog we had ever created. There was GIFs, there was video tutorials, it was funny, and it went down an absolute storm. And then we kind of thought to ourselves, hang on, we've just like spent a lot of time invested in creating a blog for them because they're like this leading authority. If we want to get ourselves there, why are we spending like half an hour on our own blogs? So from that point forward, we thought, you know what, we need to up our game with our own content.
Oh yeah, so I love that. That's a great arch enemy number one. And number two on the list
is Dr. Vanilla.
Dr. Vanilla. Tasty.
It is. Well, no, it's not.
You know, it's really bad. Vanilla is actually my favorite flavor ice cream, which is really...
Me too. That's dreadful.
When it comes to content, it's really boring. It's average. It's unoriginal, and it's not going to stand out. Just going through said timeline, it's got a link to an article, link to an article, link to an article. Oh, something cool, right? You're going to stop. It's a thumb stopper. So stand out. If we want to get noticed, if we want to get remembered and talked about and grow our audience, then we need to have content that is not vanilla.
Yes. Actually evoke some kind of emotion. That's what we want to think about, right? So before you actually, or when you come to actually plan your content, you might be planning, right, what points you want to get across, what the learning points are, what the action points are, what examples we want to include. But then also think, right, what emotions do I want to evoke with this? Do I want to get people spurred up? Do I want to have them feeling nostalgic? Do I want to have them feeling like they can conquer the world? And try to put some of that into the content you create. And this works whether you are creating video content, whether you're doing blogging, whether you're doing podcasting, or even if you're just scheduling social media posts.
And in fact, actually, just thinking back to your book, I love something that you said. You were talking about how you started out. You said, we need a kick-ass website. Yay, get a kick-ass website. Paid a load of money. Pile of rubbish. Oh, right. Well, maybe we just picked the wrong guys. Let's get a better gang in here. We got really, they got big lights over their name. They're going to be brilliant. Spent lots of money. Oh, crap. They took our money again. Now we've got no money. What are we going to do? Creative.
Yeah.
Right.
Our favorite quote is creativity beats budget. Throw all the money that you want at something, but if it's boring, it sparks no emotion, it's gonna like get you nowhere.
Yeah, so you got to start with something that's vaguely interesting. Good plan, guys. All right, so we've got another superhero, no vanilla. We have to have extra ripple on that, I guess, Andrew, you and me.
Yeah, I do quite like some strawberry sauce, to be fair. On that.
Yeah, so we have to get a little on the wild side. That's great. And number 3.
The third supervillain is Stagnant Steve.
Stagnant Steve, that sounds vaguely disgusting.
Yeah.
A little bit. Content marketing is constantly evolving. There's constantly growing. More and more people are doing it. More people are doing it and more of it. And people are doing it better than they've ever done before. And so if you're just standing still, if you're not evolving, if you're not constantly improving new things, being a little bit creative, refreshing things, improving things, tweaking things, testing things, and you are going to become stagnant, and you're gonna, lose the way, and people are gonna overtake you, and people are gonna fade away, and gonna lose interest and go elsewhere. Even the most exciting of shows that once we were like hardcore listeners and fans to, we got bored. It's just the same thing over and over again, but with a different guest or with a different topic or with a different this.
Yeah.
Come on, switch it up. Let's do
you're 100% right.
now, and this person's got something exciting and a new show, so I'm going to head over and check that out, and I'm going to forget about you. So we constantly need to be testing and tweaking and changing things up.
Conversations are so important for so many reasons, but especially if we want to get reach on social media.
Now, you can tell this is live, so this is the bit that I will be editing out. When you tell people not to call.
Making conversations, all right.
Do not adjust your set. I'm just going to turn that off here.
All right, so now it's just the Andrew and Pete show. So while he goes away, everyone go to andrewandpete.com. YouTube channel, andrewandpete.com/Andrew and Pete TV, Twitter @Andrew and Pete. We were being quiet, I promise.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, It was. I heard the subliminal kind of things that were just coming through there. But one of the things that you all talk a bit about is the importance of not being safe, because being safe is the new risky.
Did we come up with that? Did someone else come up with that? Did we? I'm not 100%.
I don't know.
If no one else has that quote,
I'm giving you the credit anyway.
Yeah. It's true, right? If you play it safe all the time, then you're just going to blend in. Like what Pete was saying earlier, it's not novel anymore to be on Twitter. It's not novel anymore to have a podcast or have a blog. So just doing what everyone else has done already is just going to always put you one step behind.
And I'm just thinking, actually, because standout marketing is your thing, so you've probably tried a bazillion things over the last while. But if you think about the biggest lesson where you try to do something is that what kind of a numpty does that, but you learn something from it. What was your biggest, man?
As in something that failed?
Yeah, something that failed, but a really good lesson.
I don't know if this was a failure. This was kind of a win, but kind of a failure. But we recently did a video on our YouTube channel, and it was episode 1 of Andrew and Pete versus Dan and Lloyd, and they challenged us to create this 90s style video. Right? So it was proper dry and it was really boring. And everyone that was already in our audience.
It was funny in a boring way.
It was funny in a boring way. So everyone that knew us found it hilarious. And the amount of reactions and comments and everything we got from people that knew us was insane. We still get comments to this day about that video, but the retention rate on that video is actually terrible compared to our other videos, because new people coming in seeing it for the first time. I don't know if it was the best first impression to us. I don't regret it at all, because I think it was worth it for our current audience to see that and have a laugh. Kind of half fail, half good.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, isn't that the point, that you've got to be willing to break an omelet, and maybe it won't be a great dish, but you know what? Next time round, maybe it will be more interesting. So, one final question for y'all, and I'll give each of you kind of an opportunity to answer this. What is the one thing you now know that you wish somebody had told you before you all started as content marketers?
We started up and we had a website, and it was very professional looking, and our blog was very professional looking. We were doing this blogging thing and this Twitter thing, and maybe for a good few years we were doing that, and we didn't really get much traction at all from it. One day we thought, like, well, what the hell is going on? And when we looked at it, the reason why was because we weren't being ourselves. We were trying to be this professional marketer and portray this image that just wasn't even us. Like we only had like a few suits. We had to go and buy shirts to be on camera or whatever. And so the moment we switched up our content to be a little bit more interesting and a bit more us and real and showing a little bit more personality, like that was the moment we started to get fans and shares and people commenting and subscribing and buying from us. So that was like a big lesson that we wish someone had just said right at the beginning, like, stop trying to like be someone you're not. You just be yourself online, because people really resonate with it a lot more.
Yeah.
Words to live by, Pete. Andrew, you're under mad pressure. Just saying.
Well, just to kind of add to that as well, it's not like completely different, but to add to that, I wish we had jumped into video earlier.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Finding the content delivery mechanism that works for you and your brand, like as soon as possible, is important. And for us, we were like blogging for years before we jumped into video. And as soon as we did, things just kind of took off for us. You need to start as soon as possible, because you all need to get through that like awkward phase.
I think that's wonderful. And guys, I think one of the biggest things I heard from you both today is, if you have personality, would you share it, for goodness sake, because that's what people want to know about you.
Yes.
I think like it's hard to stand out, but the one thing that is unique is your personality.
Yeah.
And I think that's so true. But I also think sometimes it's not enough. And I think sometimes...
controversial.
I know. And that's kind of what we go through in our latest book. It's great to be yourself, but sometimes that's not enough to be really different and remarkable from all the other content out there.
Yeah, it's just one aspect of it.
It's just one aspect.
Ooh.
So I'm going to say that as something quite controversial.
No, that's a good way. You know what? That's a cliffhanger, because now I have to go and read your second book. I'm only halfway through the first one. Guys, listen, thank you so much for joining with us today. I really, really appreciate it. Please do check out the links that you'll see below. Andrew and Pete, really a pleasure to be with you. So, and if you haven't already...
Yes.
Subscribe.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, everyone, for watching.